From Alabama, who sits on the Senate Budget and Armed Services Committee. Senator, do you feel like a quitter, as the president says, or are you guys ready to suit up and try again?
Well, the fight goes on, Eric. I'm not ready to quit yet. I've not been in Washington even as long as President Trump has been in Washington, so I share his frustration with our failure to get anything done this past week. But we can't, just because we came close to winning, we can't give up now. We've got to continue because the damage is continuing.
What would you like to see?
Well, I like the idea of sending the power and the money back to the states to let them experiment. Alabama handled Medicaid expansion the right way, and we're focused on our most needy, poor, deserving people in that program. It needs to be sustainable. So that's a good concept, but I'll have to see what the details are before I sign off on anything.
Do you think that could pass muster with Rand Paul, and some others? Do you think that the Republicans will be able to reach a consensus that could also pass Senator McCain's muster?
Well, I'm not sure. I was very disappointed in the wee hours Friday morning when Senator McCain and two other Republicans voted against moving forward. I don't understand that after the commitments that were made over the last 7 years. So that's frustrating. I think from what you heard from the Democrats, they're not interested in cooperating. As a matter of fact, any suggestion we make, they're going to say it's the worst thing in the world. So that's disappointing as well. But we can't quit. We've got to. Just because it's hard doesn't mean we shouldn't address it. We've got to.
In light of that, do you think that there could ever be any Democratic support? There are calls for some bipartisan maneuvering, and there's some efforts to try and reach that. What do you foresee will happen this fall?
Well, we know what's going to happen. I'm a fear that the system's going to totally collapse because in my state, for example, individual premiums for insurance have gone over 200%. It's not sustainable, and the Medicaid system itself is not sustainable. So if the Democrats are happy with what we have now and want to see it get worse, they can keep maintaining their same position. Bipartisanship would be nice, but I haven't, in my short time in Washington, seen any evidence of their willingness to compromise or even offer positive solutions. So that's frustrating, but I do applaud the president for his continuing commitment to keep the heat on the Senate to get back to work. And I do have confidence that Tom Price, HHS Secretary, who can do things administratively, is on the job. So we cannot give up. These are, and this is, remember, we haven't even gotten to tax reform or infrastructure, etc., which here in Alabama, I hear as much about that as anything. We've got to give tax relief to our citizens.
Yeah, and this was supposed to come. This was supposed to come first. And speaking of the Democrats and possible cooperation, here's what the Wall Street Journal editorial this weekend says about that. They say, quote, "A Democratic leader, Chuck Schumer, knows he has Republicans on the run, and his price for 60 votes will be a costly bailout of Obamacare. Good luck repealing the law's mandates and taxes or deregulating insurance markets. Republicans, in their selfish political and personal interests, squandered a once-in-a-generation chance to show that their principles can make life better for Americans." Ouch. At the end, do you think that you will be able to come up with something that can satisfy both parties and the American people?
Well, that pretty accurately summarizes the situation. And I played college basketball all through my career. We thought of ourselves as a team. What is best for the team? We have unfortunately, some members of our caucus who really don't take that view. We're trying to win for our team and our principles, and so it was very disappointing. But again, I think the president's leadership here will be critical. We're not going to give up. Being a new person to the Senate, I'm not going to accept failure, and I'm going to go back and do everything I can to contribute to a positive result here.
As they say, if it doesn't work once, try again, and they may do that. Well, Senator Luther Strange of Alabama this afternoon. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday.
Thank you very much.
Of course, Senator.